I'm Dave Westcott, CEO of Evergreen Brands, TransBlue, Condo Shield, Snow Bros, a couple others. I'm just here having a good time, living my entrepreneurial journey. What a journey that is too, right? Being an entrepreneur, crazy call to good news to bad news to success to failure. What a trip being an entrepreneur is, right? Gosh, the pain you enlist for when you decide to take yourself along this journey. But it's a lot of fun and it's totally worth it. And I wouldn't rather be doing anything else in my life. So today we're talking about maintain quality customer relationships. And this is such an awesome topic. This is, really it's a sales topic, but it's also an operations topic. So, how do I maintain quality customer relationships? Well, what I want you to do is think about a relationship that was really, really, really important to you that you lost. Really, really, really important to you that you lost. I'm going to share one with you. So I worked with a school group called Rancho Solano, and they were in the Phoenix market, and they had 8 schools at the time, and they had these are private schools, and they needed janitorial service, and they needed landscaping service, and they needed on-site handyman service. And this was an amazing contract. This contract alone paid all the bills. Like, I could literally screw anything up and it didn't matter because this contract paid the bills. Like, it was just one of those sweet spot contracts. And what I learned was, and you learn this along the way in business, is that maintaining customer relationships are really, really important, but no percentage of your customer revenue should be more than 10% from one customer. You should really look at your chart of accounts and really look at your income from a customer. So if you're doing a ton of work, like I was with Rancho Solano, and it's more than 10% of your income, your business is now at risk. Your business is at risk from failure. Your business is at risk because maintaining that customer relationship is absolutely critical. And if we don't maintain that, if we don't make that happen day in and day out, if we don't take care of that customer day in and day out, what's going to happen? That customer is going to go away. Right? That customer is going to move on. And when the customer moves on, what happens to our business when we're left with a gaping hole in our income? Right? We're laying people off, right? We're trying to figure out how we're going to pay the bills. Maybe we didn't save enough when times were good, and now they're not good. So at the end of the day, we've got to be amazing at maintaining these relationships. Well, what does a relationship look like? Well, I want you to think about the relationship that you have with your friends. What does a relationship with your friend look like? Are you always going to your friend's house and asking, hey, man, can I have something out of the fridge? Hey, can I borrow your car? Hey, can I borrow this video game? Hey, can I borrow your... Well, I was going to say something kind of crazy, but I guess I got to keep it PG on the call. But hey, what can I borrow from you? Well, if that's the relationship, if somebody's always coming and asking for something, are you going to stay friends with them for very long? Ralph does the call. He's sitting here with me on the side. You can't see him, but Ralph, he's videotaping me. He's got his headphones on. He's got it all set up. He does pizza on Saturday nights. So they have this open house thing. Pizza on Saturday night, so they have this pizza oven outside, and every Saturday night you can come over and they make all these extravagant, crazy looking pizzas. I always wonder what happens on pizza Saturday when they're not home. Does somebody else get to go in and make the pizzas or what? Or imagine you show up at Ralph's house for welcome Saturday pizza and they're on vacation. That's kind of an interesting thing. But they do that thing, right? Now imagine if you're the guy who shows up every single Saturday. You never miss a Saturday for free pizza. You never bring a bottle of wine. You never bring a couple of sodas for the kids. You never bring a dessert. You just show up for free pizza because at Ralph's you can get free pizza on Saturdays. At some point, that's kind of going to become a burden. It's kind of going to be like, oh, we're going to have to clip this whole anybody can come over thing. Right? Or, in that relationship with that friend's kind of going to be like, man, you know what? This isn't cool. God, all this person does, they're just using me for my things. They don't really care about me. They just care about my stuff. Well, I want you to think about it in that same way that you're building a relationship with your clients, because what do your clients feel like? Oh, they're just asking for work. They're just asking for work. They're just asking for another job. They're just asking for this, asking for that. And that's not relationship, right? That's not relationship. That's just asking. And eventually it gets annoying. So what do we put into our relationships, right? We got to have some friendly conversation, right? We gotta joke around. We gotta have a good time. Maybe we should go out to lunch. And here's my tip for relationships in business or in anything really. But if we go out to lunch, we don't talk about work. So I got this thing where I'm going to go out to lunch with people who work with me. And my goal is to never talk about work. I'm not saying work never gets talked about because sometimes it gets brought up, but the goal is to never talk about work. The goal in the setting, in the meal setting, in the hanging out setting is to just build relationship. Just talk about what's going on, talk about life, talk about things that are fun, talk about things that are exciting. And so as you build relationships and as you focus on those relationships and as you focus on maintaining amazing relationships with your clients, you got to build friendships. Well, what does that start with? Well, I got to know who their family is, right? I should know their wife's name. I should know their kid's name. I should know what their kids are into. I should know what their kids like, right? I should be invested in some kind of relationship. But to get that, I got to share a little bit about my kids. I got to share a little bit about what's going on in my life. Hey, this is Madeline. She's 7 years old. She's starting figure skating. We're having such a great time with that. You know, an amazing topic we can all bond on is our kids. Oh man, look at my kids. Look at these pictures. Oh, they're so sweet. And, next guy breaks out his pictures. Oh, look at my pictures. They're so sweet. Everybody loves that. So what are you doing? What are you doing to build that relationship? Right? It's not about what job you're going to give me next. It's not about what is happening next. It's about building a relationship. We go out to lunch. We have a good time. We chat. And you know what? When we make a personal relationship, when we make time to talk about things that are not work related, we build a friend. Everybody wants someone to pick up the phone. Everybody wants someone to talk to. And hey, you know what? Maybe a cool sporting event is coming around the corner and we're able to say, hey, you want to come and check out this game with me? You want to come hang out? Hey, you want to bring your wife and kids? I'll bring my wife and kids and we can meet in the middle. And now you're starting to build relationship. And now you're starting to have great conversations. And now it's starting to be different from what happens in work. And this does two things, I believe, for you that are really, really important if we build friends. Listen, nobody on the planet wants to fire their friend. If Ralph and I are friends, I don't want to fire Ralph. Right? I'm like, man, Ralph, I really like hanging out with Ralph. I really like talking to Ralph. I don't want to see Ralph go. But if Ralph makes a mistake or Ralph has an error and he's my friend, I'm like, hey, buddy, this is what happened and this is, what the disappointment was and, what can you do to make it right? And, we're friends. So Ralph's going to be like, hey, man, I'm going to take care of that for you right now. And I'm going to jump on that. I'm going to be Johnny on the spot for that. Man, we're going to knock this out. And it's like, cool. But if Ralph and I aren't friends and Ralph makes a mistake, I'm like, that freaking guy. You know what? Clip him. Move on. Right? Because it's just a number in the book at that point. And so when you invest that time, you give yourself the opportunity to survive through mistakes. Because we all make mistakes. As we grow and we scale our business, the one thing that we know is that we can't do it all by ourselves. We have to trust people. We have to entrust our work into other people's hands. We have to give that work to them. And what happens is, the truth of the matter, what happens is, if we don't entrust them, if we don't delegate to them, then we can't grow. But if we don't have relationship, if they don't have relationship with us, then what's going to happen when there's a problem? The other thing is that your suppliers or your vendors or your contractors or people that work with you, if you don't have relationship with them and something goes sideways, what happens? They just quit, right? They just walk away. But if we have relationship and we're friends and we're buddies and we're pals, then that guy might walk through walls for you. You might have a tough situation. You can't get something taken care of, or maybe you've got a site that's behind or a job that's behind, and you call your buddy and you're like, hey man, I'm really behind. I'm really in a bad spot here. I'm jammed up. Can you help me out? And he's like, you know what? Let me load up the truck. I'm going to send my guys out there. I'm going to take care of it for you. Relationship is so important. We do a lot of asphalt paving, and we use a lot of subcontractors in our work. And, we're doing that, and that's cool. And we had a subcontractor come out to our shop last week, and they paved a whole new area for a new garage we're building. And you know what? They did it for free. They did it at no cost. They didn't charge us a single dollar. And this is like a big pad, right? It's like 25 feet by 25 feet with this big 20 by 20 angle, right? They had guys here at 8 in the morning. They didn't leave till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They paid for all the asphalt, all the labor, all the fuel, all the trucking. Why? It's relationship. They're working on building relationship. We're working on building relationship with them. We're taking care of them, and they're taking care of us. And we are their customer. You see, we are the person who's calling and saying, can you do this job for me? We are their client. And then we have a client too, right? And maybe that's some Fortune 500 client that we're working for. Maybe it's a Wells Fargo. Maybe it's a Walmart. Maybe it's an enterprise. Maybe it's a Public Storage. I'm dropping some names there, right? But those are real clients that we work for all across the United States. And as we grow our business and as we grow our band, how do we take care of those clients? How do we take care of those relationships? Are we just another number on the spreadsheet? Because when you're another number on the spreadsheet, and this is huge for the sales guys, if you're just a number on the spreadsheet, oh, yep, that's Mike Jones Landscaping. And if there's a Mike Jones out there who's listening to this and that's the name of your business, that's of no consequence. I don't know who you are. I just made that up just for fun. I'm actually going off that song that used to get played on the hip hop channel. Mike Jones, Mike Jones. Do you remember that? That was a lot of fun. So anyways, back to the point of, what's going on that spreadsheet, because that's what we're really talking about here. If they can't separate you, if they're not like, hey man, you know what? Those guys at TransBlue, they do a really good job. You know what? I really want to work with them. I really enjoy the relationship. I really enjoy the time I spent with them. I really enjoy their work. And you know what? They're such nice people and they're great people, and I want them to be taking care of our properties. Maybe they give you a call and they say, hey, listen, this is where everybody else is on the bid, and you're a little bit off. Right? Relationship helps that happen, right? Because we buy from humans. We buy human to human relationship. We're not buying from robots. We're not buying from computers. We're buying from humans who are sitting behind desks making decisions. And you know what? At the end of the day, they want to look good. They want to feel good. They want to look like the hero in their office. They want to climb the ladder. They want to get the promotion. They want to get the bonus. They don't want to put somebody in place who's going to screw it up. They want someone they can talk to, somebody who's going to answer the phone, somebody who's going to resolve their problems. Right? They want somebody who's going to give them an incredible experience, to be perfectly honest. And so what are we doing to maintain those relationships? Well, it starts with, how are you today? What's going on? How's your kids? How's your wife? How'd that sports tournament turn out? Right? Caring and listening and investing your personal time. Here's the thing. If you want to be successful at business, whether you're climbing the corporate ladder or you're starting your own business, it's not about business and personal being separate. It's about business and personal being commingled. Because we buy from personal relationships, man. I remember a good friend of mine worked at Microsoft. And is climbing the ladder at Microsoft. And he calls me on the phone and he's like, hey man, you want to go to a Hawks game? And I'm like, yeah, I'll go to a Hawks game. And he's like, okay, cool. So we go to the Hawks game, we're out there tailgating. And he's like, hey man, we're going to go tailgate over here with these people. Oh yeah, why are we going to tailgate with them? Well, because this is the pod or the cell that I'm trying to get into. This is the network that I'm trying to get a promotion up into. So I'm going to come over here and tailgate with them. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, man. It's actually the reason why I got the season tickets. I got the season tickets so I could show up and tailgate with them and party with them and hang out with them so that I could get this promotion at work and climb the ladder and change cells or pods or whatever it was. You see what that person did? They took a personal function, this for personal enjoyment, personal life, personal time, and now they're investing that in work time, work relationship, work people. Sure, they're having fun, they're building relationship, but how did they climb that ladder? Did they climb the ladder by showing up at work every single day and doing a great job? Or did they climb the ladder by smoozing a little bit and having a good time? What they did was they were making friends. You can call it politics. You can call it whatever you want. Happens everywhere you go. We like people who are friendly. We like people who are like us. We like people who want to spend time with us. We like people who want to have a good time with us. So what do? Take your clients out on a fishing trip. Take your clients to a Mariners game. Take your clients to a baseball game. If you're in Houston, take them to a Houston Astros game. If you're in Boston, take them to a Red Sox game. Spend time with those people, but make it all about the relationship. Spend time on that relationship. Invest in that relationship. That's the point. That's the mission, right? Richard Branson says 70% of his time, and I hope I'm quoting this right, but he says 70% of his time is based on building culture. And we talk about what does maintaining quality relationships with our customers look like. It comes down to culture. I don't have time to go have lunch with you today. I'm super busy. My question is, how do you not have time to have lunch with that person today? That could be where the next 15 jobs come from. That could be where the next 20 jobs come from. And yes, you've got a dual motive there, right? Like you're building a relationship to build your business, sure. But you know what the bonus is? You get a really cool friend out of it. And I've made a lot of really cool, really great, really fantastic friends in business. I've made some relationships with people that I feel like will last forever. And you know what? Those people always call for work. And you know what? Sometimes they'll just shoot over a picture and they'll say, hey, here's a picture of my kid at the birthday party. It was awesome. Just thought I'd share this. So for those of you who say, hey, LinkedIn is all about business, I say you're wrong. Because business is personal and personal is business. Because we can't have an amazing personal life without an amazing business. And it all comes down to an amazing experience that we deliver day in and day out. So if you really want to have amazing relationships with your clients, if you really want to grow your client footprints, if you really want to take it to the next level, you have to invest time in those relationships. I like to say you've got to be a favorite. I want you to think of your favorite restaurant. best place you've ever eaten. Now, I've got this thing where I travel around, and when I travel around, I like to hit up the best steakhouse that I possibly can. It's just something I like to do. I like to try what's new, what's fresh, any city I go to, right? And I've been to steakhouses all over the U.S., hundreds of steakhouses. But I'll tell you that my favorite steakhouse, no matter what you put it up to, even if I got some New Yorkers on the call and you say, Peter Luger's, you know, Metropolitan Grill, downtown Seattle, 2nd Avenue. It's always the best. You know, I have this philosophy that if I go to a steakhouse and it's really, really good, I don't go a second time. The reason I don't go a second time is because every time I go for the second time, it ruins the experience, and it's never as great as it was the first time. Because I would go to these steak restaurants and then I'd go back to that city and be like, oh, I'm going to go there again. And the second time it was never as amazing, or for the most part, it wasn't as amazing. But when I go back to the Metropolitan Grill, it's always top notch. The waiters are dressed in their white little suits. They got their little ties on. They're always dressed sharp. They always come to your table. They always take care of you. They always fill your glass with water. They always wait on you. They always, I'll take care of that. It's just top notch, right? First class service, first class food all the way. Well, why is that important? Why did I ask you to think of your favorite restaurant? Because a place that you'll go over and over and over again, that you'll spend money with over and over and over again, that's the recipe. That's the recipe for a great relationship. Because if you'll continue to spend money there, if they'll continue to engage, if you'll continue to recommend them, then what happens? You've built a relationship. And then you look at your business or you look at your career and you say, man, that's the experience I want. I was going to the mall this weekend because we needed to get my little daughter some, new little skating outfit. Because her coach was like, hey, she needs to wear things that make her look like a figure skater. And the stuff she's wearing makes her look kind of clunky. So they're like, you need to get her some new gear. So we're like, okay, cool. So we go to the mall and we're getting some stuff, and we love to get some ice cream. I love to get ice cream with the kids, and my kids have basically grown up in this COVID era, right? So we haven't been out a lot. We haven't done a lot. We've done some stuff. We haven't done a lot. And we go to the Cold Stone Creamery. You ever been to the Cold Stone Creamery? Ralph, you ever been to Cold Stone Creamery? Yeah, you've been to the Cold Stone Creamery. Cold Stone Creamery is pretty fire. It's cool because you get like this ice cream, right? And then they take the ice cream, they got a little mixer and they smash it all up and they put marshmallows in it or Oreo cookies in it or caramel sauce in it or whipped cream in it, and they mash it all up and they make this thing. Now we get 3 little cups of ice cream. They are just teensy little cups. It's $23. I'm like, dang. That was some ice cream, man, but I'm obsessed with this incredible customer experience, right? It's like I live this day in and day out. And the first time we went by the location, I decided not to go in. I'm gonna tell you why. There was a line out the door. The restaurant tables outside didn't look clean. So I was like, where are we gonna sit? And the location just looked crummy. It wasn't world class. So we go in, we go shopping, we're in there for a couple hours, whatever, we come out, and there's the lines like way down, there's maybe one person in line. So I'm like, hey, you guys want to get some ice cream? They should try this Cold Stone Creamery, right? So we go in. There's a fan next to the coolers for the cakes, and there's, napkins laying on the floor, and there's spilled ice cream on the seats, and the window, where you look at the ice cream has got fingerprints all over it. It's kind of gross, And I'm just like, gosh, man. What just a terrible experience it is just visually, And so I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, okay, that's kind of bad. And we stand in line and There's 6 or 7 people that are working in the creamery. And, I can see them there. Somebody's making waffles and somebody's in the back, I think probably a manager doing some stocking. And then there's a couple of people just walking around, not really doing anything, maybe just moving some things around. I don't even know what they're doing. And nobody has said hi. Nobody's said anything to me. And then we wait, and the gal that's serving us finishes with the next lady, and she's kind of standing there, and there's all these people, and no one's saying anything, no one's helping us, and I'm about ready to walk out. And then she comes over and she says, "Hey, what do you want?" No smile. I'm like, "How's your day? How are you doing?" She's like, "Oh man, we're so busy." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's tough." Yeah, she's like, "Yeah, it's pretty tough." And she makes the ice cream, frown on her face the entire time. Pay the bill, try to crack us a couple of jokes. This lady's having nothing to do with the jokes at all. And I think I'm pretty funny most of the time. We get the bill. I give her a $2 tip, right? I'm like, I'm going to tip the ice cream lady, $3 tip, whatever it was. I throw it in the jar. Not even a smile, not even a thank you, nothing. Sit down at the table. Ice cream is out of this world. Gosh, it was so good. I had like 3 bites of each one of my kids'. It was amazing ice cream. The experience was horrific. My relationship with them will end right there. I'll never go to another Cold Store and Creamery and get ice cream again, even though the product was phenomenal. They didn't invest in building relationship with me. They didn't invest in asking me, "How was your day?" They didn't smile at me. They didn't make me feel warm and welcome. So every single aspect of your business, every single aspect of communication, every time you meet a customer, get on the phone with a customer, should be the most exciting time of your life. Because that's your customer. That's your one opportunity to impact them. My little family of 4 will never go back to the Cold Stone Creamery, and we're going to get ice cream once a week. For the next year, that's 52 times we're going to go get ice cream. 52 times at $20 a pop is like $1,000 that will not get spent at the Cold Stone Creamery. How many people walked into that place and had that same experience? The day that I live in, the day we live in, we have the choice to choose from so many different options. They are literally the best ice cream I've had that I can remember. But the way that I was made to feel in the establishment has changed the way that I'll feel about them forever. And that is so true in your own business. In the way that your team responds to your customers, in the way that your team talks to your clients, your subcontractors, your suppliers, your vendors. Are you making people want to work for you? Are you making people want to work with you? If I give Ralph here a bad time every single day, is Ralph going to want to come to work? Ralph, are you going to want to come to work if I give you a bad time every day?
No.
Ralph said no. You probably heard that. But if we have a good time and we're joking around, we have a good time, Ralph's like, "Oh yeah, man, I like coming there." Hopefully he feels that way. He said he does. But at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. This is all about relationship. Every single step of the way, every way that we answer the phone, every way we respond to the email, every way that we take our customers out, every way that we spend time with our relationship, it's all building relationship. And we need to build the most amazing relationship possible. It doesn't mean that we don't always argue. It doesn't mean that we don't always have conflict. It doesn't mean that we don't have to hash some things out. But what at the end of it is means that we are committed to building an amazing relationship. And if you want to take your business to the next level and you want to grow your brand and you want to grow your business, look at every single step of that business and say, is this the best relationship? Am I building the most amazing relationship with these people possible? Am I going out of the way? Or do they feel like I am going out of my way for them? That's how you build amazing relationship. That's how you maintain quality customer relationships. That's how you build your own brand of crazy, is you have this undeniable following of people that love to be with your brand because of the way you make them feel. It's all about how you make them feel when they buy your service. That's the only thing we can control. It's the only thing we can do to take our business to the next level. If you want to have that incredible business, if you want to have incredible success on your entrepreneurial journey, dive into quality customer relationships, and it starts with how you answer the phone. I'm Dave Westcott. If you've enjoyed this, share it, like it, pass it on. Follow me on LinkedIn, David Westcott. Look me up, hit me up, give me a follow. Make some comments on my posts, hang out with me, interact with me, build a relationship with me. I want to build a relationship with you. Have an awesome day.